Morning guys, August 22nd, 2024. So there I gotta go change out a second floor encased coil on a furnace and also a condensing unit outside. I gotta relocate it on the other side of a generator because the newer units are bigger now than the older units. Going back with a rud. Encased coil. What they got there now is, I believe it's a ICP coil up there that's leaking, and the condenser's questionable too, because it's, you know, it's getting up there in age. So I'm going to do both at the same time. I'm going to relocate the condenser on the other side of the generator and run the conduit along the wall and the refrigerant lines along the wall behind the generator for the guy. I know this guy, worked for him a bunch of times, and I've added gas to the system quite a few times already. So twice this year already I had to add gas because it was flipping leaking. So they want it fixed. I quoted him a price and he wanted to do it. And while I'm up there, I'm going to I got to fix the walkway, because where you access this thing, it's got like it's not really a good place to be able to walk. So I'm going to put some 2x4s across there and put some plywood from the access port over to where the walkway is, to make it more user friendly. I figured some wood and some time on that. We'll clean that up first thing. First thing I'll do is I'll go there, I'll pull the refrigerant out of the unit that's going to be trashed. And like I said, I'm going back with a new coil and a new condensing unit, 410A, before we can't buy them anymore. They're already coming out with the R32 shit. So we're gonna have more safeties on that stuff. But anyway, we're gonna go over there and rip and tear and assholes and elbows today. Get it done. We'll be a couple of days to work there, so we're gonna a couple of days. I left the dog home. I'll try to get you some shots when I get over there. This guy's a doctor. He's a good guy. I like him. He's a good shit. And I like his family, his wife, and they're all good people. So he's funny to joke around with, this guy. Could throw the swear words around with him, and he kind of gives it back. He enjoys it. He's just down to earth, you know. He's not one of these guys that got his head stuck up his ass. You know, you can't joke with the guy. Anyway, we'll try to get some shots as I go along. It's about, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's gonna be cool next couple of days, so let's get it done, mama. Plastic pad right on the ground. Okay. Just like that.
All right.
But plastic. So
okay.
If you want to put stone around it later, you can.
Well, I will. I'll probably take that shit out because I have a bunch of the paving stone. I'll run it around there and just put some of that gravel in. Okay.
Yeah, I'll put the pad down, level it.
Okay.
Put the unit on there, pipe it all off, and then you can do your thing later. Yeah, I'm gonna put a board across here, and then a walkway across this way. So I could 2x there or something, or planks, something for a walkway. I'm just gonna put a piece of wood here so we can get up. Put a piece across here and a couple. Maybe one here, one there, and then I'll go on to that with the plywood. And put a couple across this way, maybe with nails. Alright, instead of going here, I'm going to put studs this way, and I'm going to put the plywood that way. I'll come in here, I can get on that, and then get over to that. It's like a plank there. I'm not going to touch any of that, but I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, or 4 along here. 8 foot comes to here, or whatever. I'll get this cut loose. So I put a 2x4 there because there was one there before. And then I came in and I put about every 2 feet. I put it because I got a notch around this joist here with the 1/2 inch plywood on here. So I'll be able to come up, get on this plywood, and go on this walkway. I got to put the insulation back and cut it between these studs. But I should be able to put the insulation back now and then put the plywood down and screw it down. There's a plywood landing down over there by the unit, but this way I don't fall through the ceiling and make a decent walkway for the guy. Use number 10 nails, and I put two nails on each side. There's 2 nails here. And there's 2 nails on that one, on every stud, so it's not going nowhere. Alright, so I got all the stuff back. So when I put the plywood down, the insulation will be under the plywood. I'll put this piece back. So if I would have put it there, this is a better way because you got room to get up here and then get over. I got that plywood all screwed down over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a nice landing. So we can come up, and I got a nice work area. I got no issue with this 12-inch wide plank here to get over to this landing here, which is already built up. So we're gonna pull this coil out of here and put a new one in. Just coming out. A nice platform up here, but I'm gonna put another board down there. We did have this other one, but it wasn't right. We got this other little, to put 2 2x4s down, a piece of plywood, so it gives me a little bit more of a work area. He had this double, but it wasn't even screwed together. That's no good. I could put it down here, but I mean, you gotta have something that's stable. I like to have something on that side too, but it's good enough for this neighborhood. Look at the guys left all the shit up here from the last job. Kind of shitty. Alright, let me get this out of here. She's crusty, Mama. And we got a secondary pan there catching all the shit. The secondary pan was fine. I'm gonna reuse that. Get this thing the hell out of here. She is one crusty one. Look at that. Yeah, it was leaking there. You could see all that. See all that flipping muck? That's all oil. See, that's all oil. I could feel it. That's where it was leaking. It's all oily. See all the oil? It was leaking on the bottom there. That's where it was leaking. Right there. That's all flipping oily. See you later. It looks pretty clean. They put like a spacer. Alright, I put a couple of blocks down there. I might have to cut that one back a little bit, I'm not sure. But I left the block here that was in the pan. 2x. He's got 4x4s holding the furnace up. Which is, I don't know. I don't need that much room in the back there, as long as I got enough to catch the water if it spills. I'll have to wait for the unit to get here now and see what size it is, see if it's going to fit, how it's going to fit. I'm going to have to pan it in and B-vent. I'm just going to pull the coil out of the cabinet, mount the cabinet, and then we'll slide the coil in. Cut off it. I cut it off that end over there. I screwed it all in, taped it good. I got the coil in. I gotta get the cover on it and hold the refrigerant lines down, solder them up, and hook up the drain. She's a tight one. I got them blocks underneath there holding it up, but she's flipping tight. Gotta love a tight one, Alright, so I got this is a furnace here. So I'm just blowing it right out. Don't need a trap on it. Just blowing it right outside. And I got a overflow switch here. I left the other overflow switch there, and I brought it up and I tied the two in right there. So it's broken right there. So they're both tied together. If this pan ever gets water in it, it'll shut off with the switch. And also that switch, and I got it all, the TXV tied in and soldered. I got this, so if I ever want to come up here and look, I can come up here and look. It's just in hand tight. And the furnace was going to push the water out. I'm good with it. Got it all taped up good. I got to finish up downstairs now. All my shit over there, gotta get out. Another bucket here. I'm picking up all the stuff from the last guy too. Slob. Picking up all the stuff from the last slob that was up here. I'm gonna leave this little piece here. And, you know, the filters have been changed. So that's a York unit. I'm gonna need to get a shot on this tag so I can write the warranty. I got the condenser set here. Did run a box, I ran a 3/4 line over and tied it in. I'm just going to use that as a junction box and run some wires in there. Run this refrigerant line's going to have to be bent. And then get it up against the concrete and put a couple of hangers, run a new line along there. I mean, if I would have put it here, it would have been so flip. The other one was so flipping tight already, so I moved it on over there. Tomorrow I'll do the refrigerant lines and pull a vacuum, and I'll be done. I ain't gonna do it today. I got an inside bender where I could bend this tube in here, put a bend in it. You gotta cut it and put an elbow. Cut it right there and put an elbow. It might be even easier, look better. Cut it right there, solder an elbow on it, and then whip it in. Run it along and put a couple of clips on the concrete there. So I'm just going to use the junction box. I got black, white, and green running over to there. This disconnect is just going to be a junction box. This will be just a junction box for now. And I'll probably put a screw in the side or something, or just, this is just going to be a junction box, and I'm going to have another one over there. Leave it off for now. Stay bright 8 on the solder. This is the flux you need. Put a sweet there. Then I'm going to run it along the wall there. And I'll put some hangers down low. I got a couple in here. I'm going to run the low voltage wiring right there. I'll connect it. Run it right along. Clip it on the wall there. Plan anyway. That's my plan. Put the dryer inside so it don't rust. That's how I like to do it. Got the gauges on there so don't build up any pressure, but shouldn't. I should be able to solder these up, these two joints here, and be done with it. Pull up, check it. I'm gonna get my vacuum going. What I want to do. Getting too old for this shit, mama. Fine. Get my nitrogen on this thing now. I think I gotta put a couple of hangers on this line first. Put a couple of hangers on this refrigerant line that's running over here. I gotta get a couple of hangers on this thing. Should be able to go right into that concrete. Well, at least one or two. Alright, we're gonna turn this on. They always say never to look at the gauges when you turn them on. I gotta tighten it. They always say never look at the gauges when you turn them on because they could blow up in your face. I don't know how true that is, but that's the way I was We'll turn this up here. Ooh. 250, 300, something like that's good. I mean, you don't have to go crazy with it. If it's got a leak, it's gonna show up. It's got a leak, you're gonna see it dropping like a flipping lead balloon. Always gotta take this off, right? We'll put this here. Both of these are open. Alright, so what do we got there? Just below 275. Give that a little time. If it don't drop, then we could start pulling a vacuum on it. Alright, she's holding good there at just below 375. 275. I could hook up my vacuum now. Start pulling the vacuum. In the meantime, I could put a couple of hangers on this thing. In the meantime, while I'm pulling a vacuum, maybe put one on this drop here. A couple of hangers on that piece. I like to leave this attached, because if not, I could blow that gasket out of there. The gasket in there and a little thing that could blow out. You don't leak her. I got my little shut-offs here. I gotta get my my little wrench ready. Just start pulling down in a minute here. Get my little wrench ready and it'll take some time to pull down. There's microns. Meantime, I'll put a couple of hangers on this thing, I guess. Say anything below 500 is good. And put a couple of put a hanger there, and I put a hanger on a drop piece. Put a hanger there, so that thing ain't going nowhere. Run it right along, and boom, right in. Right, so I'll shut these off, and I'll open this. Hey. Wow. Wow. I should be able to put my gauges on it now and run it. And check the charge. I'm probably gonna have to add some. You know that. They never put enough in. They're always short. They're always short. the disconnect in. I got this cover back on, and I could go turn it on inside. I did bend the tab down on this, so you can't open it. It's just a junction box now. We go turn it on, and we could check the charge. Alright, so we'll turn it on. Cooling. It's 71 in here, so we gotta turn it down below that. We'll set it for 64 for now, and just to run it to check it, but inside it's already 71. It's not too bad. That's cool on, so it must be calling. $120 on the suction, 10 on the subcooling. The soup heat's being regulated by the TXV. That ain't looking bad right there. Look at that, didn't even need to add no gas to it, son of a bitch. Oh man. You're supposed to let it run for 15 minutes. We'll let this run for 15 minutes and see what it does. 9 on the subcooling. Yeah, I might have to add a little bit. Yeah, you can see it's dropping a little there, right? I'll probably bring it up a little bit. I'd rather be a little bit on a little higher than low. Supposed to let it run for 15 minutes is what they're supposed to do, but you want to get technical about it. Yeah, we'll put a little bit in. See, we're dropping, we're 7.4. We'll put a little bit in there. I want to bring that subcooling up. Up a little bit. We'll give it a little juice. Nine to 11 is a good place to shoot for with a TXV. Ten, 11, something like that's good. Alright, so what are we looking at here now? We're looking at 16 on the superheat. That's being regulated with TXV. 11 on the subcooling. That's charged where we need it. 125 on the suction. That's looking better there. So we're going to leave it right there. Can you guys see that? Or is it too glary? Hopefully you can see it. Alright, so that's going to be our final right there. That's good. It's really not crazy hot in the house, so it's good. Right there is good.